This is an ABC News special report. Queen Elizabeth II, the legacy, the life.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in London. I'm Robin Roberts, live at Buckingham Palace as we celebrate the end of a remarkable era. Queen Elizabeth's extraordinary legacy, a lifetime of devotion, and now her eldest son, King Charles III, taking on the moment he has been preparing for his whole life. As we see him make his way here to the palace, that's a live look at the new king arriving at Buckingham Palace with the Queen Consort, his wife, Camilla. This is the first time their people are seeing the new monarch after the death of his beloved mother. King Charles and Camilla taking in the touching tributes. They will, once they arrive here, the crowd has been growing all morning long, and there have been so many tributes all around the world, especially outside of Buckingham Palace, which they will see, because for many Britons, this is the only monarchy that they've ever known, Queen Elizabeth. Going to bring in our foreign correspondent, James Longman, who just happened to grow up here in London. What does this moment mean to you, seeing King Charles coming here to Buckingham Palace for the first time as king?
It's a huge moment, Robin. I mean, it's massive. Getting used to the idea of saying King Charles. I think he's literally just about to come up here now to what will be his new palace, his new home. You know, it's quite something to think about. You know, so much is going to change now. So much is going to change. I grew up in a country where basically everywhere are signs of the Queen. You can't see them now, but there are bollards around here. They say ER. Now it's going to be CR, and we can hear the crowds.
We hear the roar of the crowd, so we know that he is approaching the palace right now. At the age of 73, his mother was 25. As we bring in Robert Jobson, our royal.
Well, I mean, we're watching history unfolding before our eyes here. You know, incredible scenes. The first king for 70 years is arriving at Buckingham Palace with his Queen Consort to meet his people. It's quite staggering, and the crowds have really grown, haven't they? And you can see them going into Buckingham Palace, which is the facade, which is basically really our White House, if you like, in terms of what's going on. There he is, first glimpse of him stepping out with the Queen Consort, stepping out in black, of course in mourning, as she would be, followed by her husband.
Elizabeth said she wanted her to be referred to as Queen Consort.
That was a very important moment when she said she wanted that to happen. I think at the moment Queen Elizabeth said she wanted it to happen, it was just as read. But, you know, there's King Charles, a man I've travelled around the world with him, actually, and it just seems very strange as we watch him go to meet the people. He's first actually meeting with the people that obviously offering their condolences to him, that he's now reached that role that he's always waited to become. And of course, he's got a lot of duties that will be going on in the next few days, which are all to do with the constitutional role that he has.
And seeing him right here, Robert and James, it's so reminiscent of his mother.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what she did, the walkabout, really connecting with people as King Charles is doing right now. What do you think his mother, how did she prepare him for what we're seeing right now, this moment as King of England?
I think it's all about duty. That was what Queen Elizabeth was about, instilling in all of us, but most particularly her son, a sense that this is not about him, this is about the people. You assume a kind of ethereal quality when you become monarch, I think. He's kind of stepped up into this new role. The Prince Charles that we knew is no more. People are their minds will switch. He is now king. He has now got the chance to spread the magic that his mother spread. It's not automatic in monarchy. I think you bring it yourself.
And you've known him, Robert, for many years, and you think he is really ready for this moment?
Absolutely no question. I mean, it's not a question of him been in training. He's the longest person who's been waiting for the role. Now, there's no training school for this. They sit and watch what happens and how it develops. But this man is an incredibly incredible person, I think. He's an intelligent man. He's a statesman. He's a very, very people person. And I think when you see him now connecting, he understands the role he's got to perform. He's not going to try to compete or compare to his mother. Of course it's not. But he has set out his own stall and be his own king in his own way. It may be a short reign. That doesn't matter. He will put his stamp upon that reign.
Because at the age of 73, his son, Prince William, Will it be different now for Prince William and his family?
Yeah, I think that's right, James. I mean, it will be different for them because, of course, he's been very protective and very clearly saying, I want to put my family first. We saw those photographs this week of him taking the kids to school. He's going to be a hands-on dad. That's going to be increasingly more difficult because he now, as heir to the throne, he's changed his title. He's now the Duke of Cornwall and Cambridge, and eventually will become the Prince of Wales in his father's footsteps when his father gives him that title. But really, it's all about the king at the moment. We haven't had a king for 70 years, and the king didn't even know really his own grandfather, George VI, the last king. In fact, one of his earliest memories, so was sitting on that sofa. I remember talking to one of his private secretaries. He said he remembers the king, but only vaguely. And now he is king, King Charles III.
And James, he really seems to be taking time and connecting. And you being from here, what does that mean when the King of England is shaking your hand and taking a moment like this? You're a little teary-eyed.
Well, I mean, I've got to tell you, this morning, Robin, I sat around the kitchen table with my husband, and we did have a little cry. We're in our 30s. Why would we be crying at the death of a woman, of 96 years of age? But it's because she kind of meant so much, because she's always been there. There's a constant. She's above politics, above the fray, above the kind of national conversation about anything. We knew she was there, a constant in a time of constant change. And I think when we look at this now, I'm hoping and I expect that Prince Charles will step up into that place where he takes himself out of the national conversations over various different issues that we know he cares about. That's the big difference between him and his mother. We didn't really know what she thought about anything. We know a lot about what Prince and now King Charles thinks, but he's going to have to move away from that.
He is, but it's very interesting. He's there connecting on that walkabout. We live in quite dangerous times, with issues you've got to... He's flanked by two of his protection officers. His main one there with the beard, the guy behind him, James, is a terrific guy. But they've all got to step up as well. They're they're the bodyguards to the king now. This is a completely different game, and they'll be on their guard. All of these people here are having a moment that they'll never forget. I think that's what the Queen said to the King. The last King said to the Queen, when you meet somebody, they will cherish that moment for the rest of their lives. You won't remember them, but they will remember you. They will remember that moment. And I think we're seeing that moment of connection with the public right now, right in front of us. And history, as I say, is being made.
Does the day unfold for him? Parliament?
He's now going to go on with a constitutional role, being king. He's a constitutional monarch in a parliamentary democracy, so that he's got to have an audience with the Prime Minister, Liz Truss, but he's not only got to deal with that Prime Minister of Great Britain, he's got to deal with the Prime Ministers of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and all the other realms of which he is king, and have conversations with them. And of course, there's going to be a really important moment later when he addresses the nation, really, and pays tribute, and a heartfelt tribute to his mother, of course, but also lays out the fact that he is going to be devoted to the people and be a king for the people. I've just heard something quite recently there. There's also, when the Ascension Council sits, for the first time, it looks now like it's definitely going to be televised. That's a departure from the past, all those sort of mystique traditions that we used to have. It's all done behind closed doors. They're opening the doors up. They're letting some daylight in on the magic, and I think that's a good thing.
And that's the Queen's legacy. That's what she did.
It's a new day. It's a new day. I'm going to go to our colleague now, Amy Robach, who is in Scotland, where the Queen spent her final days. And what has been the mood there all day long, Amy?
Oh, it's one of solemnness, and certainly people are eager to pay their respects to the Queen, because right now, yes, the Queen's body remains at Balmoral, just a few hours from here, but she will be making her way here to Edinburgh. She will first be placed at Holyrood House, which is one of her many residences, and people here in Edinburgh will be able to come to the house, pay their respects to the Queen, and then we know that she will be royal members of the royal family will be coming here to Edinburgh as well to hold a vigil in the Queen's honor at St. Giles Cathedral, just a short distance from where we are standing right here. So there is a lot of preparation going on right now here in Edinburgh. There's a lot of closed streets, a lot of traffic, and a lot of people coming to this town so that they get a chance to say their final goodbyes to the only Queen that most people knew here in Great Britain for their entire lives during her 70 years. 4 out of 5 people here in Great Britain only knew Queen Elizabeth II as their monarch, and many people here are eager to pay their respects, Robin.
About 5. As always, appreciate your reporting, Amy. Want to get some final thoughts from you gentlemen when you see again King Charles III here in London, here in Buckingham Palace, for the first time, meeting the people. What are you going to take away from that moment?
I think it's just extraordinary to see a man that we've seen for 70 years finally king. It's a moment he's waited for his whole life. I'm looking at the faces of these people now saying, wanting to speak to him. And, a lot of them are wishing him well for his mother, and they'll feel tremendous loss on his behalf for her. And he'll take great comfort from that. But boy, Charles III, it's going to take some getting used to.
Well, there was a moment just in the crowd there which I think summed up Charles, the walkabout and his openness to people. One woman pushed forward and said, "Can I have a kiss?" She grabbed him, gave him a kiss on the cheeks, and he gave her a hug. Now that is a real connection that would put the alarm bells amongst those poor security guards. But he was happy to do it, and he turned away with a big smile. But this is helping him go through his grieving period because he's getting warmth, love, and hugs from the people that he now serves.
See all the flowers that people have left for his mother, his beloved mother. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. We're going to have coverage of the Queen throughout the day here on ABC, including a special 2-hour 2020 tonight. And we will be back on the air at 1 o'clock Eastern when King Charles addresses the nation for the first time as king. We're going to go back now to our regular programming at this hour. For many of you, that is Good Morning America. Have a good day.
This has been a special report from ABC News.